Welcome to the What to Play podcast. I'm your host, Jacob. Lucas could not be here this week because of prior commitments, so I'm doing it solo once again. Now, the Patriots and the Buccaneers were the only team to play this week, as the Cowboys did have a bye week. The Patriots game, the score is 28-23 Patriots. The game wasn't even that close, to be honest with you. You had 50-plus yard gains. That's how the Patriots won this game. They had 250-plus yard touchdowns by Trevion Henderson, the rookie from Ohio State. And he played great. Like, you get him the football, New England. Get him the football. Just give him the football. Let him play. Like, okay, yeah, you're worried about how much he's going to be able to play. But he's explosive. He's great in the open field. He's actually a good receiving back. He does a lot of these things very well. Get him on the field. Figure out ways to get him on the field. He had 2+ 50-yard touchdowns. When you have 2 touchdowns of 50 yards plus, that's a crazy stat in general. They had a touchdown by Stephon Diggs. They had another long touchdown early in the game by one of the rookie receivers. Like, they made some plays. And that's all they did. There was a couple sacks, yes, but the pressure wasn't super bad. It looked like Drake when he had to make the throws, he stood in there, he made a play. That's what you got to do as a young quarterback. Go make a play. And that defense of the Patriots played really well. I understand Baker doesn't have the weapons. Mike Evans being injured. Chris Godwin, that injury looks more severe. The same thing goes for Bucky Irving. That injury looks more severe than originally thought. But at the same time, they still have Rashad White. They have K. Dotton. Luke Gedeke came back, who's their right tackle. He's missed some time. They have Emeka Ibuka. And they got back into this game, Sterling Shepard, Tez Johnson. Like, they were playing way above their pay grade at this point. It's just, the game wasn't close. You can't make these many mistakes. The Patriots, it reminds me of when Daboll was with Tennessee. And even though the games looked close, they never felt close. And I was talking about this, how the Patriots feel like the Ravens and the Lions on how they play games. Where games may be close, but it's kind of like that mirror on a vehicle, like the objects may be closer than originally appear. That's kind of what it is, except it's like the opposite. They're really not. If you actually watch, the Patriots were just going up and down the field and making plays. And they made plays when they needed it. And the Buccaneers just couldn't do that consistently. All those were second half points to get them back in the ball game. They really had a hard time. And I still think this offensive line is an issue for Tampa Bay. I thought New England did well on defense. There's obviously some things they still have to iron out. But you're always going to have to make an adjustment at some point. And I think the fact you have Vrabel, McDaniels, that's going to help out. So it was a great win. Probably my player of the game was Trevion Henderson. But was Henderson, it makes no... Trevion Henderson was just playing out of his mind. He was great. I believe it was his first 100-yard game, so congratulations. Or his second 100-yard game, so congratulations to him. He played great. He played awesome. And we say this all the time. When you have a team like this, when you don't have an ego-driven team, that's something the Patriots brought back. They don't have an ego-driven team. They have guys with egos, but it's not ego-driven. It's every week it's somebody else. Stephon Diggs, Henderson, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, Mac Hollins, Kayshon Boutte, Ramondre Stevenson. It's somebody else always making the right play. And that's what you want from a good team. Always make the right plays. Sometimes it's just Drake May making the right plays. But that's okay. That's all you want to hear. So it was a great win. That honestly, I'd give the start of the game to Henderson, of course, but I think everyone did well. I thought the defense was well. I thought the offense made plays when they needed it. You can't be upset about that, and you can't overlook the next team you play because you play the Jets on Thursday night. You have a very quick turnaround. You're back at home. You play on a Thursday night against a division rival. Even though the Jets haven't looked great, they've won 2 in a row. Now, granted, the 2 teams they beat were Cincinnati and Cleveland. Like, they're not the best teams in the world. The Bengals and the Browns are not the best teams. But they've won those games, and they've won them in very uncharacteristic ways and not offensive juggernauts that the Jets aren't, but they are winning on the kickoff game, the kick return game, the punt return game, special teams in general. Defense is playing great. But this Patriots team, I think, perfectly is the perfect test for the Jets. And this is the perfect test for the Patriots. Because the Jets aren't the best team, so you're afraid of this being a trap game. But the Jets, you made some moves. You traded away Sauce Gardner. So how is that going to work with any of these wide receivers you have to go against? You traded away Quinn Williams. Well, the Patriots run the ball a lot. No Ramondre Stevenson. It looks like it's going to be a heavy dose of Trevion Henderson again. But that's okay. No Austin Hooper. Expect a lot of Hunter Henry making some plays here. I have the Patriots winning this 28-14 because I don't like how the Jets play. Like, you got very lucky against Cleveland because you had 2 kick and punt. You had a punt return touchdown and you had a kick return touchdown. Like, that's how you won that game. The Browns can't really score. The Bengals can't stop anyone on defense, so that's how you go. But I have the Patriots winning 28-14 only because it's a divisional. Those games are typically closer. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots blew out the Jets. But 28-14 is my final. Moving on to the Cowboys-Raiders matchup. Plus 3.5 are what the Raiders are getting from Las Vegas. That's how much they don't trust the Raiders. The Raiders are so banged up, it makes no sense. They have so many injuries. So many. The offensive line is really banged up. Jackson Powers Johnson is now on injured reserve. So they look like they're going to be down another offensive lineman. The left guard. So it's going to be just backups across the board. And hopefully this works out. And that's all they can do. Then it's not a good team. It really isn't on the offensive line. And I said this in the predictions video yesterday. I said the matchup to watch for both sides is Max Crosby against these 2 Cowboys tackles who haven't played very well, and the interior offensive line of the Raiders versus the Cowboys defensive tackles led by Quinn Williams. That's because this team is, the way they are operating, the way Dallas is going to operate, they're going to try to stop the run. Gentry is the only player that outside of Bowers and Mayer that they're going to really be terrified of. They're just going to force Geno Smith to throw the football. And Geno has not played well. 11 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He's not been very good. He's not been good under pressure. He's just not playing well. Not like last year. Well, last year you could say, okay, there's a lot of tip passes that turned to interceptions. Wrong routes that led to interceptions. This is just, he's not playing well. He's getting beaten up. That's what's going on in this game. He doesn't look like he's playing well. That's the issue. But the last time Geno Smith played the Dallas Cowboys, he had a great game. You cannot allow that to happen. You have to be able to go after him, get pressure, force pressure. You can get around this offensive line, stop the run game, force Geno to throw the football. He's going to make mistakes. Just force him to throw the football. Also, do not one-on-one Brock Bowers, please. Do not do that consistently. Try to double team a little bit, just a little bit, play some coverage. Because, to be honest, outside of Trey Tucker, they can't really do much. Outside of Tucker, they can't do much across the field anyway. So, Genty is going to be that guy. Brock Bowers, I would assume they go more with 2 tight ends because of the Cowboys and because if they don't trust this offensive line. That's what I would do. So I would assume Michael Mayer plays quite a bit. But I honestly, if I'm the Cowboys, I am not afraid of their wide receivers. I'm more afraid of the run game and the 2 tight ends. So lock that up, force Geno to make actual throws to the other receivers, and hopefully you don't get beat that way. I talked about these Cowboys tackles and the matchups against Max Crosby. The right tackle I want to have a little bit more of a conversation about. The Cowboys offensive line coach Conor Riley said last week that they are having a competition at right tackle. This is how underwhelmed they've been with and how Terrence Steele is playing. Like, he's not playing well. He's not. There's time. I know you say, well, the Hurley rates aren't that bad. He can run block. But his run block has dipped a little bit. His pass blocking grade has never been great, but this has been really bad. There's times he doesn't get a hand on the defender, which really, to be honest with you, I wish we would, because those stats. Like, there should almost be a metric for, okay, how many times does that defensive end beat this pass protector? How many times? Because Terrence Steele gets beat a lot. And a lot of it is just Dak avoiding the pressure or Dak getting rid of the football. That's what it is. And it's ridiculous. This happens all the time. Where Dak is running around trying to make plays. That this pass protection is just giving up. And it's not like they're giving up in the first 4. They're not giving up after 4 seconds. They're giving up. Like, it's a free release. Dak doesn't really see him, but he has to evade. And it becomes so difficult for him. You can't be doing that. The quarterback's going to get destroyed back there. Just some better pass protection would be nice. If it's Terrence Steele, that's the starter, good, whatever. If it's somebody else, Nathan Thomas, Akeem Adeniji, whomever, you got to put the best guy out there, give him a chance. Now, granted, it's Max Crosby. You're going to, I would assume, slide protection over there as much as you can. But you have to do something because this isn't going to work if whomever you put out there is going to struggle anyway. But I would much rather it be somebody who can keep their own as much as possible over it's a turnstile over there and we don't know what is happening. For the game, this game, I think, the way that, because the Raiders defense has not played great, they actually fired their special teams coordinator after the Thursday night debacle against the Denver Broncos. Todd McMahon, who's been around for a really long time. He was actually in Indianapolis when Vinatieri was there, Matt McAfee was there. He was that guy. And he was with the Raiders, and it didn't work. Just didn't work. They ended up firing him. I believe that was on Friday or Thursday night, something like that. And now, if you're the Cowboys, you have to do stuff. You have to be better than what you've been the last couple of weeks. You should, if you can't stop this Raiders offense, this defense is never going to get better. You're having as many as 6 to 7 people returning or playing in the Cowboy uniform for the first time. Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, They're coming off the trade, so they'll play in this game. Savone Revel, DeMarvion Overshone, who that's 4. They think about Perion Winfrey. That one's a little touch and go. Donovan Wilson is expected to go. Not 100% certain on if Malik Hooker will, but that's a lot of people. That's 6-7 people that are just defense, that would be starters for you that you're having to play. That's how bad this has gotten. So you were playing guys like Jay Toya, Solomon Thomas more consistently because you had no choice. You played Jay Toya so much because you didn't want to play Mozzie Smith. Now you got rid of Mozzie Smith. You brought in Quinn Williams. Hopefully that works its way out. But you got to do something. You have to get this defense better. It's showing, like, if you can show, and this is the thing for Matt Eberflus. This is almost like a PSA. If Matt Eberflus and this defense looks more average in the second half of the year, when they have 8 games left to go, I wouldn't be shocked if he's brought back next year. Because they'll excuse the fact of all the injuries. That's what they'll use as an excuse. Whether or not it's true. But if they don't improve, he's gone. Like, there's just no way. Because you should get better. You have 2 new linebackers. You have a new cornerback. You have a returning secondary. You have a returning or a new defensive tackle. You should be better. Will it? Who knows? But I do have the Cowboys winning this game 28-6 because they need to win it by a lot. They really do. They have to show something against the Raiders where you can say, okay, will they make noise? More than likely the answer is no. But are they going to be something to mess with, at least on the offensive side of the ball? Yes. That's what they have to show. And they have to continue to show that as this defense hopefully improves. We'll see what happens, though. That game's on Monday night. But let me know in the comments, do the Patriots have a chance to win this week? Or do the Patriots win this week against the Jets? And how do the Cowboys fare against the Raiders? But before we go, I do want to talk briefly about the news that happened on Monday with Brian Daboll. We posted the video yesterday. We used it as the thumbnail. Brian Daboll was fired. Brian Daboll was not a great coach. I don't think he fit with what he wanted to do. I think the fact that Shane Bowen was the replacement for Wink Martindale did not work. That relationship between Daboll and Martindale did not work at all, which is the reason Martindale resigned. The fact that Joe Shane is staying and leading the search and Daboll's leaving, I still can't wrap my mind about it. How is Daboll going to leave, but Joe Shane going to stay? They've messed up this team as a whole. They've really been terrible. Their drafting has not been ideal. They just haven't been that good. They haven't been good, and they have so many issues. And like I said yesterday, ESPN said this will be a coveted job. How? How is this a coveted job? It's not. Because yes, you have a great quarterback. Yes, you have a great young quarterback. You have a great young receiver. Scadaboo is a great running back. A great young running back and all. You have those things. That's good. Your defense is pretty good. Though they're not being implemented the right way. Though I don't know why Shane Bowen's staying around either. I don't get that. But they are so bad at the offensive line and in their secondary. And I want to say this. Someone said, we'll bring in Belichick. Why does everyone do this? I don't get it. I understand you think that would fix the issue, but you have so many problems in your secondary and your offensive line. That's not getting all fixed by one guy. You need a guy who has a vision, who is not just going to be there for 3 years and then either retire or go somewhere else. You need somebody who's there, who has a vision of what they're trying to do. I know Albert Breer said the Giants are going to cast a wide net, and they have to. They have to do what the Bears did. Because they're already doing what the Bears have done, which is they should have fired Daboll and Shane last year, but they let them stay, draft a quarterback, and then Daboll's gone before Thanksgiving or around Thanksgiving, like they did Matt Eberflus in Chicago when he drafted Caleb Williams, and it was a disaster. The same thing goes here. You need to hire a coach. You got to cast a wide net. Pick the guy you actually want. Cast a wide net. See if you can get that guy that you want. And if you can't get him, cast a wide enough net that you can find someone that you like that has a vision. That you don't have that guy yet. Daboll was a begrudge in New York. It didn't work with the Giants. It just didn't work. It needed to happen. I'm not surprised it happened. I'm surprised that Joe Shane is still there. But this was necessary, whether we want to admit it or not. For NFL World and the What a Play podcast, I'm Jacob Hebert, and we will see you next time.